David received a hospital bill last March, $15,000 for a knee surgery, same hospital, same surgeon, same procedure as his colleague Sandra. Sandra's bill was zero, they had paid the same insurance premium for 6 years. David called Sandra that evening. She said it was not the insurance that was different, it was one account, an account we both had access to through work, one I have been using for 7 years and you have never opened. In the next 8 minutes you will see exactly what that account is, how Sandra eliminated her out-of-pocket costs entirely, and why most people who have access to it are using it the way David did, which is not at all. The account Sandra used is called a health savings account, HSA. It is not insurance, it is not a spending account, it is a triple tax-advantaged investment vehicle hiding inside your employee benefits package. Here is the triple tax advantage most people never understand. Contributions go in tax-free, money grows tax-free, withdrawals for medical expenses come out tax-free, no other account gives you all three simultaneously, not a 401k, not a Roth IRA. Sandra has been contributing $3,850 annually for 7 years, the maximum individual contribution. She has never used it to pay a single medical bill, she pays all medical expenses out of pocket and lets the HSA invest and compound untouched. Sandra's HSA balance today is $41,200. Not $26,950 from contributions alone, $41,200 because she invested every dollar in low-cost index funds. The difference is what compounding does to tax-free money when you stop treating it like a debit card. David's HSA was opened 3 years ago. He has $847 in it. He used it every time he had a copay, a prescription, a dental visit. He had the same account as Sandra for 3 years and built almost nothing. The HSA has 2 modes, spending mode and investment mode. Most people stay in spending mode their entire career. Sandra switched to investment mode in year 1 and never looked back. The switch costs nothing and changes everything. Buffett said the best investment is one that cannot be taxed or diminished by inflation. The HSA in investment mode is precisely that. Contributions reduce taxable income today. Growth is never taxed. Qualified withdrawals are never taxed. David pulled up his benefits portal the night Sandra called. His HSA had an invest button he had never clicked, sitting there for 3 years, 1 click away from investment mode, contributions earning almost nothing the entire time. Most HSA providers require a minimum cash balance before allowing investments, typically $1,000 to $2,000. David had $847. He had been $153 away from investment mode for 3 years without knowing it existed. Here is what nobody in HR tells you. The investment threshold is not fixed. Many providers allow you to lower or eliminate it entirely. David called his provider the next morning. The threshold was adjustable. Nobody had ever told him. Sandra keeps all her medical receipts in a folder, every copay, prescription, procedure for 7 years. The IRS has no deadline for HSA reimbursements. She can withdraw tax-free at any future point for expenses already paid. This is called the receipt stacking method. Pay medical expenses out of pocket today, invest the HSA contributions, let them compound for years, then reimburse yourself later using old receipts, completely tax-free regardless of how much the investment has grown. What comes next is the retirement strategy that turns everything before it into a completely different kind of account. Stay with us, this next part compounds everything you have heard so far. At age 65 the HSA becomes something almost nobody talks about. After 65 you can withdraw for any purpose, not just medical. You pay ordinary income tax on non-medical withdrawals, exactly like a 401k, functionally a second 401k with better terms. Sandra projects her HSA balance at age 65, $340,000, a completely tax-free medical fund, a receipt reimbursement reserve, and a supplemental retirement account simultaneously, one account doing 3 jobs better than anything else available. David ran his own projection. If he contributes the maximum from today, invests everything above the threshold, and uses receipt stacking going forward, his HSA will be worth $187,000 at age 65. He lost 7 years but not the account. The HSA is the only account where your employer can also contribute tax-free on your behalf. David's employer contributes $500 annually. He had been letting $500 in free money sit in cash earning nothing for 3 years, $1,500 uninvested. Munger said the first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. Every time David used his HSA as a debit card he interrupted the compounding. Sandra never interrupted hers once in 7 years. That is the entire difference. So what does David do right now, today? The answer is not complicated. It is 3 specific moves in the right sequence. None of them require changing his insurance, his employer, or his income. Here is exactly where it starts. Step 1. Maximize your HSA contribution immediately. Individual limit $4,150, family limit $8,300, additional $1,000 catch-up if over 55. Every dollar contributed reduces your taxable income dollar for dollar. the highest leverage tax move most working people have available. Step 2. Switch to investment mode today. Log into your HSA provider, lower or eliminate the investment threshold, and move every dollar above the minimum into a low-cost index fund, the difference between earning 0.01% and market returns over decades. Step 3. Start your receipt folder today. Every medical expense paid out of pocket from this point forward gets documented and saved. Receipts have no expiration for HSA reimbursement. You are building a tax-free withdrawal reserve that grows every time you see a doctor. David implemented all 3 steps within 48 hours, increased contributions to the maximum, switched to investment mode, started his receipt folder. His $847 is now invested. His employer's $500 is now invested. Every medical receipt since March is documented and waiting. David called Sandra 1 month later. He said, "I cannot believe this account existed for 3 years and nobody explained what it actually was." Sandra said, "Nobody explains it because understanding it costs the insurance industry money and saves you money. Those two things cannot coexist." Morgan Housel wrote that getting wealthy has little to do with income and everything to do with decisions made with the income you already have. The HSA does not require a higher salary or a different employer, just a different decision with the same dollars. Every week on Health Vault Wealth we break down one healthcare financial strategy most people have access to and almost nobody is using correctly. Not complicated, not exclusive, not reserved for the wealthy, just clear and actionable. Subscribe now. David still has his $15,000 hospital bill. He is on a payment plan, but something permanently shifted the night Sandra called. He stopped seeing his HSA as a healthcare expense account and started seeing it as the most powerful tax-advantaged account he will ever own.